Is quite an amazing week in America as we see the things that have happened that we have never seen on the streets of America before. We have seen Americans' limbs blown off in a marathon in Boston. We have seen our press go into massive denial. We have seen our president meeting with Saudi officials while they are getting ready to whisk away suspect number one in the middle of the night, and we'll have much more on that coming up. And last night, in case you don't know, I can't imagine that you don't, but at 5 o'clock last night, the FBI released photos of two men suspected in the bombing of the marathon. They were described last night as extremely armed and extremely dangerous. But not necessarily with guns. Now, they do have guns, obviously, but the reason why these guys were so dangerous is because they know how to make bombs out of pressure cookers and everyday items. Well, at 10:20 last night Eastern Time, an armed robbery involving two male suspects was reported at a 7-Eleven in Cambridge, Massachusetts, near MIT. An MIT campus police officer responded to the robbery and was shot and killed in his vehicle by the two suspects. The two suspects then carjacked a black Mercedes SUV. It was pursued by police vehicles. They drove 6 miles to nearby Watertown. At 12:48 Eastern in the morning, radio traffic indicated that during the pursuit, the suspects were tossing multiple explosive devices outside of the windows of the vehicle. The car came to a stop on a residential street in Watertown, and the suspects engaged in a shootout with police who were chasing them. One transit police officer was hit and critically injured. One of the suspects was hit multiple times and taken into custody. The second attempt to flee is full speed in the SUV. After the vehicle is barraged with gunfire, the suspect escapes and reportedly flees on foot. These, so you understand, are not normal teenagers. At 1:10 a.m., the injured suspect is rushed to Beth Israel Hospital. They report that he is suffering from too many gunshots to count. At 1:35 a.m., the suspect is pronounced dead after 15 minutes of failed attempts at resuscitation. He is believed to be the black-hatted suspect in Monday's marathon bombing. I want you to hear me carefully. There is so much information going through here. It is critically important that you understand that this is suspect number 2 that just died and suspect number 3 that is still on the loose. Suspect number 1. The government is going to try to hide suspect number 1. Do not forget him. Police cordon off a 20-block area of Watertown and order the residents not to leave their homes as they conduct a house-to-house search and a street-to-street search for suspect they say is number 1, I say is number 3. He's the guy in the white hat. 3:36 a.m., residents in and around Watertown. They should stay in their residence. Do not answer the door unless it is identified as a police officer. That's what they tweeted from the Massachusetts State Patrol. 6:39 a.m., Associated Press announces that the suspects are Russian from Chechnya and had lived in the United States for at least 1 year. Everything then is shut down. Then at 5:45, the mayor of Massachusetts suspends all public transit service in the Boston area. The public is told not to congregate in large groups, as residents in at least 6 Boston neighborhoods are told to remain in their home and stay off the streets. 5:52 a.m., Harvard University announces it is not opening due to the public safety concerns. MIT has already closed down. 8 a.m., Boston's police commissioner says all of Boston must stay in their homes. Listen to this. All of Boston must stay in their homes as they search for the surviving suspect in the marathon bombings. All of Boston is locked down as they try to find another suspect in the bombings on Patriots Day, which, unless you look at Patriots Day as the shot heard around the world, unless you look at Patriots Day as the beginning of this country, and people, jihadists, that wanted to make the statement of Patriots Day as destroy the United States of America. These are not Tea Party members. These are Russian, Chechnyan jihadists.